So last time we did two problems. One was about the queue that we need to do the weave in the queue. And second problem which we did was creating the queue using these two stacks. Let's create the third problem today, the queues and stacks. So this problem is frequently asked in many companies. So try to see how to do this. So I can, whenever I want to do a stacks, I can use this stack class using the add, remove, or peek property, or I can use the linked list stack using this add, remove, peek using the head, or I can also use stack directly using the array, because in array push and pop are the default methods for the stack. So when we want to do the stack, if they ask you create a stack using the array, you will create like this. If they ask you create a stack using the linked list, you will create like this. But if they give some problem, then it's up to you. You can use the stack linked list or stack array, or directly you can use the stacks. So since this is the problem in the stack, which I will show you now, I will directly the array. I don't need to use a stack as array or linked list method, but I will use just array using the push and pop to implement the stack. Okay, so I will write down here to implement the stack. I will use push and pop method in this example for simplicity. Otherwise, I could have used either of the classes which I have created before. Now the problem which we have to do is called the balanced parenthesis. So what exactly it means? It means that, one second, the noise is coming. So what is the meaning of balance? I started the recording. It's already started. Recording is started. Okay. So what is the meaning of balanced parenthesis? Is if you have the curly bracket and then rectangular bracket and then round bracket, you see the curly bracket start first but ended in the last. The rectangular bracket starts second and ended the second. Round bracket start third and ended third. So that means if I go from left to right, the round bracket starts in the end, but it will close first. And this rectangular bracket is second, so it will close second. And this curly bracket is first, so it will close the last. So to implement this, we need to use the stacks, and queues will not work for this one. So let's see a few more examples of balanced parentheses. There is curly bracket and curly bracket closing is there. I can start another after this closing. I can start another curly bracket and close it like that. But if I start inside it, then it should close before the first one. So the first one, which goes inside first, will come out in the end. That is the kind of stack functionality. The first one will come out in the last. So similarly, in this also, curly bracket start first, but ended last. Rectangular bracket second, ended second last. This round bracket start in the end, but it will come out first. So we need to see if this is balanced parenthesis or not. So let's see a few examples of balanced parenthesis. If I write like this, round bracket, curly bracket, but I close curly bracket outside the round bracket. Is this balanced parenthesis? I have round bracket curly bracket and round bracket closing and then curly bracket. No, it's not balanced because curly bracket opens second, so it should close first because it is the last one to go, so it should come first one. Now it is balanced parenthesis. So you will get the string of any of the parentheses, any of these three parentheses, and you have to say true or false whether they are balanced or not. So I will start writing, but I need you to help me in writing that one. So the function will be balanced parenthesis, and I will pass a string in it. And let's call this function with few strings to see if we are getting true or false result. So I'll call this in the console.log. I'll call this balanced parenthesis with some string. So the first thing which I'll pass is this one. And this is balanced parenthesis. So the output should be true for the first case. Let's add the second case. Here I will pass not a balanced parenthesis. I'll start with round bracket, curly bracket, closing is round bracket and then curly bracket. So this is not the balanced parenthesis. So this will give me the false result. Okay, so that's what it should do. Now we have to with this string. What should be the first step in this balanced parenthesis? I will give you the hint. So just the hint is if string is empty. So how will you write it here? What is the first statement you will write? Right. If not str, then return false because we have to return either true or false. If not str, that means we are not passing it. So the question is, you need to ask the examiner if you don't pass anything, is it balanced or not? So if he says it should be balanced if I don't pass anything, so we have to return true in that case. So depend on the requirement, we can make it true or false. If not str, I can return true. Because nothing is there, that means everything is balanced. It may happen like that also. So depending on the examiner, you have to ask them whether if nothing is passed, what should be the output. So let's consider it is true because if I don't pass anything, I will consider it as balanced. Now, since I need to implement a stack, I need to create array. So let's create the array. Okay, so this is the array which I created. Now, if I see any of the opening condition like opening curly bracket or opening rectangular or opening round bracket, I will put it in the stack. I will not put in the stack when there is closing icon or closing symbol. So let's draw the example here. So we have array. This is empty array. And we have the condition curly bracket, maybe rectangular bracket, round bracket closing, rectangular bracket closing, curly bracket closing. So as soon as I see this curly bracket, since this is the opening one, I will put it in the array. So array will be, first element will be opening curly bracket. Then I will go ahead in the second element. Since this is also opening symbol, I will put it in the array. So array will have this another symbol. And then I'll go to the third element. Since this is also opening one, so I will put it in the array. So how I will put it in the array? Using the push, because I want to implement the stacks. So I will use push command. Now as soon as I will reach this closing of round bracket, since this is closing tag, I will not put it in the array. Then there is a rectangular one, I will not put it in the array. Then there is a curly one, I will not put it in the array. But as soon as I see the closing tag, I will remove from the array. If I see opening tag, I will insert it in the array. But as soon as I see the closing tag like this, I will remove from the array using the stack method, that is using the pop. And once I remove it, I will compare with this closing tag, and if they are the partners, I will go ahead do next element, that is this one. Then we got this rectangular one. Since it is a closing tag, I will remove from the array, and this one will be removed, and I will check if this one is the partner of this one. Yes, both are partner. This is the opening tag, this is the closing tag. Since they are partner, that means we are good. And this is also removed now, this is also removed. Then I will go to the curly bracket, and I will remove this element from the array, and I will check if both are partners. Since both are partners, I will remove this also, and array becomes empty. Since array becomes empty, if array is empty in the end, that means it is a balanced parenthesis. So I will return it as a true. I will explain this process again in a minute. Let's write down the code first, and then I will explain it again. So what I have to do, I have to go through each character, and depending on if it is open or closed, I will add inside this stack or remove from the stack. This is the stack array. Let's go through each of the string. So to go through each one, I will say for let character of str. Since this is the string, I can use the off command. If it was object, I would have used in. But since it is a string, I can use off directly. Let's see what is the character here. So we will see first what character we have, and then we will go further. Okay, right now this is the curly bracket, rectangular bracket, round bracket, round bracket, rectangular bracket, curly bracket. So we get a character, each character one by one using this for loop. So here we'll write down, go through each character of str. Now here I will write down the condition. Maybe I can use if condition, or I can use switch also, but let's write down the if condition. I will say if character is equal to opening of the curly bracket, or character is opening of the rectangular bracket, or character is equal to opening of the round bracket. So if I get character equal to any of this, that is opening of this, this, or this, then I will put it in the stack. So how to put it in the stack? I will say array dot push character. But if it is ending tag, I will remove from the array. So but let's try to see what is inserted in the array. I will take care of this remove part in a little bit later. Let's try to see what is the array now. So after for loop, I will console.log array is array. Let's try this and see what we're getting in the array. So in the array, you will see the opening of the string, then opening of the rectangular bracket, and then opening of the round bracket. And all the closing tags are here without anything in the array. So we have taken care of the opening part. Now we will take care of the closing part. Remember, when we see the opening tag, we will insert it in the array. But when we will see the closing tag, we will remove from the array. So here I will write down else condition. In the else if, I will write down if character is equal to closing of the curly bracket. So this else condition will be all three separate because we have to map with each one. So I will put three else condition. Either it is closing of the curly bracket or closing of the rectangular bracket or closing of the round bracket. So in all three conditions, first thing is I will remove the element from the array. So that is, I will remove the element from the array in the stack fashion. So what will be removed from this array? As soon as I see closing of any of these three, I will remove from the array. So if I remove one element from the array using the stack, what will be removed here? Right, this one will be removed. This one will be removed. First time, this one will be removed. Okay. So in all the three cases, I have to remove from the array. Okay, let's remove from the array. So how to remove from the array? It is the array pop. So let's write down the variable name, or I can say also this: if array.pop is equal to okay. So when we have this character, okay. So we have the last character this. Now this is going to be removed, right? This is going to be removed. Now when we have the closing round character, this is the closing round character. So let's take that closing round character first. I will remove in all three cases, I will remove. But in our example, let's take example to understand it better. We have inserted all these three. Now we are trying to remove this fourth one. Since fourth one is the closing one, that means I will remove this element from the array. And this element is nothing but this array.pop. Because when I do array.pop, I will be in this spot. Why I am not in this spot? Because fourth character is this one. Therefore, I am in this if condition. Right? Why I am not in this if else condition? Because fourth character is this one. So I cannot go in this if else if condition. So right now I am in this else if condition. And if I remove the array.pop, that means I will remove from the array. I will remove from the array, which will be this element, right? Array.pop will be this element. Now tell me, what should I write in this empty space so that, I should return false. Okay, so array pop should be equal to what for the right condition? For the true condition, what should be the real value of array pop? Can anyone tell me first? First tell me what should be the real value of array pop so that both are balanced. What should be real value of array pop? When I remove from the array, what should be the value so that I should consider that, oh, these two are balanced. Because fourth character is round bracket, right? So when there is a round bracket, fourth character, array.pop should return me, it should return me this opening round bracket. Okay, why it should return opening round bracket? Then only both are matching. Then only that is the true condition. But if array.pop is not round bracket, it is something different. Maybe it is this one. Then it is false condition. That means both are not matching. Okay, so in reality, it should be equal to round bracket, opening round bracket. As soon as we see closing round bracket, when we remove from the array, it should be open bracket, round bracket. Why? Otherwise, it is false condition. If both are matching, that means both are balanced. But I cannot check the true condition here. I cannot return true here because we have to check all the characters. I cannot return true. Though it is true, but I cannot return it. But if I reverse the case, if it is not a round bracket, that means it is true that both are not balanced. If I use not this character here, that means if it is not round bracket, that means both are not matching, and I will return false here. Because for false, we need only one condition, that both should not be matching. But for the balanced, for the true condition, I need to check all the three, and then only I will decide whether it is true or false. Okay, so when I do this part, if the array.pop is not equal to round bracket, right now it is round bracket, but if it is either of these two, that means it is not round bracket, then that means for the fourth case, it is not balanced if we don't get round bracket. If we get this round bracket, if we get this closing round bracket, then array.pop should match the partner of this one. What is the partner of this one? This one is this one. And if it is not the partner, then it is false case, it is not balanced. So once we see both those are partner, then we are okay. Let's go to another one. So this is removed from the array, and we will see now this rectangular bracket. Now for the rectangular closing bracket, I will remove from the array, and it should be rectangular open bracket. And if it is not a rectangular open bracket, that means they are not balanced. So in the second case, rectangular bracket, I should say if array.pop is not equal to opening rectangular bracket, then it is a false case. I will return the false. I cannot check the true here. I have to check the false. Because for true, we need to go through each character of the string. But a false will be, if one character is not matching, it is a false case, and we have to return it. Similarly, in the third case, if we see the closing curly bracket, that means array.pop should remove the open curly bracket, and if it is not removing the open curly bracket, that means it is a false case. So if I say if it is not equal to open curly bracket, then it is a false case and it is not balanced. Return false. So when we open it, we just put it in the array. But when we close it, we have to check whether the closing element is a partner of this. If it is not the partner of this, then we return false. So this is the way to check if it is not the partner. Now, if we complete this for loop, here in the end, we also have to see that this array should become empty because we put inside the array and we remove from the array. But if any element is remaining in the array, that means it does not have any partner, and this is a not balanced parenthesis. So here in the end, I will check if array.length is equal to 0. That means there is no element in the array. All the all the parentheses, all the brackets are balanced, then array will be empty. And if I check array.length is 0, that means all are balanced, I will return true. But if any of this array.length is greater than 0, that means something is there and it does not have the matching partner, then it is the false case and I will return here false. Let's check the array also, what remains in the array. Okay, let's try to run this one now. Okay, so since I put all the balanced one, we came out of this for loop and here array.length is 0, so we get the return true. But let's pass to false cases where I will put extra parentheses without closing tag. First, let's take this one. Here it is returning false because it is not getting the partner correctly. And let's take the last case. Here also it is false because it is not matching. Let's try to match something here so that we get the array in the end. Here I put this is a balance, but this as unbalanced. So array has these all unbalanced parentheses brackets. So it is returning false in the end. So just go through this function, write down this function and go through it. And if you don't understand any of the part of this one, just let me know. I will explain that part. I'll explain that part specifically if you don't understand anything. Okay, just start from here and write it down. I'll give you 2 minutes to write down. Okay, question is, what if str is too long? Do we need to give all in the if statement? So even if str is 1000 length, we go for each, and in for we always check if it is opening character or the ending character. If it is opening character, we push in the array, and if it is ending character, we check if it is the partner of the element coming out of from the array. So array.pop, that is the stack, will give me the last element, and we have to check if it is partner. If it is not partner, that's why I put not equal. If they are not partner, then we return false. Well, then we return false. So I will write down here comment. If array.pop is not a partner of curly bracket, then return false. So we are checking if array.pop is not a partner of this, then return false. Same thing here. I do not the partner of the opening bracket, then we return false. And here if I say not a partner of this round bracket, then we return false. We check if they are partners. So let string be n number of characters, doesn't matter. Oh, this problem is generally asked in Facebook and many other big companies. We can also use the switch statement. We can use the switch statement instead of if, else, if, else, if. And then we can also use another third method, which I will show you maybe today or next time. There are 2-3 methods. Now, if I am using too many if else condition, see the complexity is going too big. So that is not good. So we need to reduce the complexity to below 15. So if condition is something is increasing the complexity, but at least you get the idea what we are trying to achieve. Okay, so today we will be doing uh, only this data structure. I will take the assignment thing on the Friday because it will take too much time now and I don't have too much time today. So let's complete this balance parenthesis and then we will do the React assignment on this Friday. Next class will be on the Friday PST or Saturday IST. Okay, let's try to take this function and try to convert it into what you call as switch statement. Okay, so I call the balance parenthesis 2. So instead of the if condition, I will use the switch statement and see how it goes. So I will write down here switch character. I will check the character and I will write down the case. Either the case is open curly bracket or case is open rectangular bracket or case is open round bracket. In all the three cases, I will push the character in the array and then I will check three more cases like case is closing rectangular tag or we have the case as closing rectangular tag that was curly, previous one was curly. I will write on three break statements here separate. Here I put one break statement for all these three cases. When I put three cases, that means this part will be run in all these three conditions. But here in this each case I'm using the break, so each condition will be different here. And then next will be the case of round bracket. And I will put default, but default will do nothing. Okay, so for all other conditions, it's a default which will do nothing. So in this case, when we have the closing curly bracket, like that means this one, I will check this if condition here. If array.pop is not equal to curly bracket, I return. For the second case, I will use this condition. If these are not partners, I return false. And in the third case, I will check if we have closing round bracket, then array.pop should not be equal to opening round bracket, then it is not a partner and we have the false. Okay, I will delete the if condition. Okay, now the complexity is not, see here the complexity was too much, but with the switch statement, the complexity is gone. And let's test this condition. So first time is true, and second and third time it is false. So it's working fine. Okay, so I'll give you this whole function file in the Telegram chat group. You can go to the second part whenever you get time. Okay, so we will do the assignment on on Friday. This data structure part of the queues and stack is done. We did what is the queues are, what are the stacks are, and we did three problems which are mostly asked in the interview settings. And so stacks and queues are done. So maybe you can go through all these problems in this week and try to understand it again and again. Next time we will start with the 009 trees. We will see what are the trees. That is something we'll take next time. So the project which we will do on the Friday, the React project, I gave you some tasks yesterday that you have to finish this first task, second task. Have you completed all these 4 tasks for the project? Binary search will be taken in the separately. Next time I'll start with the trees, and binary search we will take some time in the search part. There is a chapter search we will take there. Okay, so this task is done. Okay, now before we really do the things, so if you install this create React app, it may have the app.js file. So in this file we will write the routing part. Okay, so you need to create the routing. So before we really jump into the project, so there will be 3 pages. One page is to show the disease. So there is a page number 1, show the disease. So you will show all the list of diseases to the user. Here you will show list of diseases. So this is the page 1. So let's consider this as a home page, and this will be calling our home.jsx. Let's create another page. Once user will choose the disease which he has, he will land to the page 2, and here you will show the options to choose. So this is something we can name it as what we can say, maybe quiz. We can ask questions, so it is the quiz. Yeah, I'm not going to detail part of each page right now. That I will discuss at appropriate time. Right now, this is something you have to build the routing in app.js. So try to build the routing in app.js with the first page home.jsx. So you will create some dummy home.jsx right now with just home text. Then second page will be, you will be asking questions based on the disease which you choose. So for example, you choose liver problem, for example. So I will be, showing option 1. Maybe we can say, I told you the color of the tongue is there. So you can say tongue red. And if we choose this one, we'll go to page number 3. Or user does not have this part, so he can say option 2, tongue is yellow. So if tongue is yellow, he will be landed to the third page with tongue yellow option. Third is the tongue bluish. Okay, so this is the quiz page. So you will have the path of quiz, and you will create another page called as quiz.jsx. So here you will ask these options. And third page will be result page. So based on the disease which he choose, based on the options he choose, we will show the results, what medicine he has to take. Okay, so that is what we will be doing it. And we will not be saving this information anywhere in the database. We'll just show the result, and whatever he wants to do, he can do it. Next time he can choose another disease. Then we will ask another option set of the question, and then we'll give the another result. So for this task, you need to just create the routing. So just create three dummy pages right now: quiz.jsx, result.jsx, and home.jsx. And in the app.js, write down the routing code. Right now, no need to use a state. We have not reached to that far. Okay, so we are not reached to use state. We are just creating home.jsx. So if you create home.jsx, let's say for you create home.jsx. So just I want this structure, only this much. That is the home. And if you create,
so what is what
Okay, so still you don't have to create the state part or effect, use effect or any Ajax call yet. Just create these dummy pages, 3 dummy pages, which I mentioned, and call them in the routing part in the update.js. So routing part, which we did, how we did the routing part. Just use the simple routing. Okay. So either you can use this file to create the routing with error boundary, suspense, browser router, but that is also not needed. We can call the simple routing. Okay, just use the browser router and the switch statement. So make it just simple. Don't put this part. Just put the browser route, or I'll show you one example which we did in one of the project. So routing also, don't put so much complicated stuff. Don't put error boundary. Don't put suspense. Okay, let me show you what you have to do. Yeah, so this is the example of the routing which you can do. Just import the 3 components like this, and this import this statement, and just put this browser routing with switch statement. Don't make it complicated with the error boundary and all stuff. Just make it simple like this one. Okay, just make it simple like this one, which we did in the one of our project called as master project master previously. Before I created the GitLab, there was a project master. I just created this simple routing. So before we start on the Friday, just create these 3 pages. Don't write down use state, use effect. Don't write down anything. I will give you one step-by-step things, so you can do those steps only. Don't try to jump too much. Otherwise, you will be thinking to do many things and you will be lost. So the next step after this is create and everything will be created in the app.js. Don't create separate file for the routing now. Just put all this routing part in app.js. Okay. And once you're done with this one, on Friday we will start with this page 1. And I will give you the instructions on Friday how to start the page 1 and how to write on the page 1. So for now, you only create the routing part. Okay, that's all for today. This project master is not in the GitLab. This was done before I created the GitLab project. So maybe it may be in your local somewhere, because when I was doing, you were also writing it by copying the code. So it may be there in there somewhere in your folder. Or if you don't know, just I'm scrolling it slowly. You can watch the video, today's video, and write down manually. Okay. So I'm scrolling. Okay. You can see later the video and try to copy the code. Okay, so that's all for today.